So James, let's talk about the new and revamped RNC and Trump campaign that has done great work in Bucks County. Talk to our audience about what happened in Bucks County and the legal victory there, and educate the national audience on kind of the wrinkles involved in all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we saw for, frankly, several days in Pennsylvania start to unfold, county elections officials shutting down lines before they were supposed to. So people were in line to vote at 1 or 2 o'clock when they're supposed to be open till 5, just for elections officials to come out and say, hey, get out of line. We're not going to be able to get to you, or stop the line from being added to hours before it's supposed to be closed. We saw them in some places advertise 4 or 5 hours of early voting just to shut it down after 2. And look, there's no secret. It's our people that are turning out to vote this early in person. I mean, we're winning the in-person early vote in Pennsylvania massively, and frankly doing very well in all of the states, just historic numbers. And so we view that as a coordinated effort to suppress the vote. But at a minimum, they're not following the law. So immediately we went to court. We sued Bucks County specifically. And we were able to get 3 more days of early voting. And credit to the court for doing the right thing and finding that Bucks County had violated the Pennsylvania election code when it did that. They ruled immediately. So Bucks County, Pennsylvania is still open for early voting through Friday at 5 p.m., even though that's 3 extra days of early voting, and everyone else is shut down now. So we are fighting the election integrity battle. If you see something, say something. I will also plug protectthevote.com. If you're seeing something out there, submit a report. That goes straight to our lawyers and they review it, triage it. Written reports are very helpful for going into court. So it's really on all of us to make sure things are played fairly, but we're on top of it. And we've already seen quick victories thanks to our aggression and standing up for our voters' right to vote.
I love that. And again, this is the new mantra, everybody, and you guys are doing a great job. Let's play cut 65. This is a little bit of what we're talking about here. Let's play cut 65.
Wow. That's crazy. You locked her up? That is insane, man. She is not influencing people. She is not at all.
So what happened in this situation? Michael Watley posted it. A woman was arrested allegedly for influencing people, but just telling people to stay in line. Josh Shapiro said you could vote if you were in line by 5 p.m. What has Josh Shapiro been doing here? Is there voter suppression happening? And I believe we need to push through this, James.
Look, it doesn't seem like he's doing much besides tweeting. I mean, I actually quote tweeted him with the video of the Bucks County Emergency Services officers closing up the line at 2:45 on top of his tweet that said, if you're in line by 5, you'll still get to vote. So it's one thing to say something, but he's certainly not enforcing. And look, I don't know if it's coordinated voter suppression by the election officials or not. I mean, I'm sure there's a learning curve here. Is this the first time they've really done this? But the fact is, the voters have a right to vote. These hours have been published that they can come vote in this time. And the fact that we've seen repeatedly, we've got reams of evidence that folks have come out and said, yeah, just come back. It's easier on election day. It's not right. It's not acceptable. And again, in Bucks County, a judge found that it's a violation of Pennsylvania election code. What I will say is really inappropriate that we're seeing is Democrat operatives across Pennsylvania, and I'm sure across other states too, will be emerging wearing T-shirts and badges that are meant to look like they are elections officials. They are not. We view that as intimidating and suppressing. I'll tell you, we're identifying those individuals as we speak and reviewing legal options, and we will continue to be aggressive. Don't be surprised if you see us sue those individuals in that program entirely. But again, I won't speak for our lawyers. They're still going through it. But that's not acceptable. That's been, many times ruled on in court. In fact, for many years, the RNC was under a consent decree with poll watching for similar tactics back in the 1980s, I think. So we don't view that as appropriate. These partisan folks going around and kind of pushing people around. At the end of the day, we're asking for one thing. We're asking for people to have the right to vote freely and fairly the way that their county or state government has laid out. But I will say this, and it's really important for this audience and for everyone. Do not doomsday here. We cannot we cannot suppress our own vote inadvertently by people thinking that there's all this bad stuff going on. I want everyone to take encouragement that we are fighting. It's nothing like 4 years ago. We're being proactive. We're successful. Like I said, see something, say something, make these people famous that are doing the wrong thing, but you still got to get out and vote. We are not going to let them take it from us. We're not going to let them get away with anything. And we're already seeing that as we've fought these early battles and been successful.
James, if I can keep you for another segment here, I want to talk more about this. Everybody, it is a turnout operation. So everyone in the audience, you become a force multiplier. You find a low propensity voter. If you harvest low props these next couple of days, we have enough voters plus low props. We run through the finish line, everybody. We've already done a good enough job in early voting. We are in a striking distance right now. We can do it, but it's going to require the activism of everybody in this audience.